Melbourne Park, and this is the first of two semi-final matches. It is a spectacular day again. Sound like a broken record, but the weather here really has cooperated for this fortnight-long event, the first Grand Slam of the year. There's a look at Lindsay Davenport, who's 22. Newport Beach, California is home for her. Spent a little bit of a time during her career down in Florida on Key Biscayne. #1 in the world, and as we've said a few times, Pam Shriver, she's wearing that hat rather comfortably now.
Well, you can see just a 99, the 9-0 mark. That includes a tournament win in Sydney right before this event, where she beat Martina Hingis in the finals, just thumped her in straight sets, won 5 of the first 6 games of the match. So, as you said, Cliff, wearing it nicely.
That's it. Amelie Mauresmo.
Amelie Mauresmo to serve first ball coming up, best of 3 for a place in the final. Amelie Mauresmo is from France, still just a teenager. And she has actually moved now to Saint-Tropez in the last year.
You can see at their 500 mark last year, starting the year 8-1. Obviously, when you get through the semifinals, that's 5 wins right there.
Two years ago, she was the #1 junior in the world, and as the ITF do, they go to the French championships, and they have all the kids, you know, and give them a prize, and sometimes they make a transition, sometimes they don't. She did.
Just starting to. Year she won Junior Wimbledon. A lot of times the last 20 years, that's been a bit of a curse for young players. She's coming through nicely now.
15.
That's something always to watch from Lindsay Davenport, is how she puts pressure on the server. The other day, Davenport had a great record on her second serves and was just clobbering Venus Williams' second serve.
This next graphic may surprise you. Pam may have an explanation.
They only played once. It was on a clay court in Europe about 3 weeks before the French Open, and that's not a time where Lindsay Davenport's going to be playing her best tennis. And Mauresmo, a French player, probably more comfortable on clay. Mauresmo came through the qualifying first of that tournament. Had a great run getting through to the finals. Besides beating Davenport in that tournament, Mauresmo also knocked off Novotna. Fiona Edwards in the chair.
Game point, Mauresmo. Got the line, beautiful backhand, and 1 game to love. France's Mauresmo leads the top player in the world, Lindsay Davenport from the USA. There are hundreds of reasons to come down to Australia. I bet you can think of a few. There's another one. Back in a minute. Haas, so it's Kafelnikov Haas in the semis. In the other semifinals, Nicholas Lepenti will take on Thomas Enquist of Sweden.
Well, Todd Martin and Lindsay Davenport shared that title in Sydney. Todd Martin won the Adidas International as well. So let's hope for Davenport's sake that that's not an omen that those winners the tournament before this are running out of gas. Lindsay not happy with the ball pressure.
That Enquist Lepenti men's singles match, by the way, 1 p.m. later today. Eastern time. Pam, I got to be honest, you are such a great advocate for women's tennis, and you have got to be very happy with the way things have turned out at this tournament. I mean, we have one known name in the semifinals. Outside of that, there have been so many compelling stories here.
Yeah, the second week, things really heated up. It was pretty much men's tennis the first week because of all the Australians still in on the men's side with Rafter, Philippoussis, Andrew Illey, and And then once all the seeds and all the Australians lost, the focus has really been on the women's side of things, with Graf playing Sellis in the quarters and Kornikova playing Pierce, and it just went on and on.
Hingis and Pierce.
15.
And of course the story of Lindsay Davenport, which is a Cinderella story. It's a beautiful one. She didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but suddenly, to start before the US Open, you know, she was by no means #1. Then she wins the Open, and there she is.
Yeah, and Cinderella has a couple of break points against her here, and she's a little bit of a slow start. And the other day in the first set against Williams, just thought she looked not quite her same self as she's been earlier in this circuit down here in Australia. That's more typical of Davenport, taking